how do you stay productive and focused when life happens? Whether we like it or not, there are always things that show up on our plate as business owners that we either plan or don't plan. And the reality is they call for your full attention. So how do you make sure that your business doesn't suffer while you ride the roller coaster of life? Tune into today's episode where I'm going to share with you 3 key strategies to help you manage that overwhelm and stay productive while dealing with the facts of life. Hey, I'm Michelle Reese, founder of the Align Agent Academy, where I get to help agents like you create a multi-figure business by increasing productivity and reducing the overwhelm. And today, I'm going to show you how. Hey there, and welcome back. I'm super excited that you guys have decided to join me for this week's episode. First of all, let me just say that I've been a little bit MIA for the last few weeks. You might have seen some repeat episodes of past interviews or training sessions that I've done, and there's good reason for that. I was actually dealing with a house move. I was helping a loved one through surgery. I was dealing with grad parties and prom parties and birthday parties. There was a lot going on. And so the question that I got most often during this time was, how? Like, how was I managing all of this and dealing with my business? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. There's 3 key strategies that I implement in my business from day one. And those strategies are to delegate, to automate, and to pause. Now I'm going to explain a little bit more about that, but what we're really talking about here is how to scale your business so that things run when you don't. We all have things that show up in our life, whether they're planned or unplanned, and those things sometimes call for our full attention. But as business owners, we don't really have the luxury of just being able to pause or taking a vacation or a holiday or a break. There's nobody that's there to cover for us unless we plan in advance for that. And so while I will in a future episode really lay down the framework for how to build a scalable business, like really how to look at those systems and strategies that are going to help you automate certain things in your business to buy back more time, because those 3 things alone have completely transformed my business, transformed my ability to take a step back. And like I said, whether those things are planned or unplanned, we have to be ready and able to manage everything that gets thrown at us, whether it's business or life related. Now, before I dive in, I want to know from you, do you struggle the same way that I have struggled? There's a million things that we have to do in our business, and so I'd love to know, what are those things that usually get put on the back burner when life happens? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss next week's episode. So as I said, in that span of 2 weeks, guys, I was dealing with a lot, and all, good things for the most part, but they called for my full attention. And so the question I got from everybody around me was, how? Like, how are you still showing up on social media? How are you still, handling our phone calls and questions? How are you still managing the day-to-day challenges and things that, your business presents? And the key to that is really in being systematic. And those of you who have come to know me know that I love systems. In fact, I have to have things planned and strategized in advance. And so what I want to share with you today are the 3 key things that I've done and will continue to do to help me manage overwhelm and stay more productive when life happens. And so here's what I'd like to start off with. One of the most surefire ways to help manage your business and life is to really understand that systems drive your business and they drive your productivity. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in depth in future episodes, but I do want to say, one of the easiest things that you can start to implement right now are systems surrounding your social media presence. Now, I know that that is one of the hardest things that we as business owners have to do. On top of everything else, we now have to put the hat on of a marketer and show up consistently for our followers, our audience, and our potential clients. And so I want you guys to check out a new course that I've launched. It's the Social Media Made Easy course. It really gives you the framework and helps you to build a very simple system. I'm all about simplicity. I'm all about managing and reducing that stress and overwhelm. And so this system will teach you the framework for you to get started on systematizing your social media. Now, a lot of what I share share in that course is also going to give you some tips and strategies for how to systematize other things in your business. But when you're ready, not right now, after you watch this episode, head on over there and see if it's something that you think would benefit you. Now, one of the biggest gifts that you can give yourself and your business has everything to do with being systematic and organized and being able to plan in advance. Because here's the reality of what happens. As we start to get busy, as we start to, focus on all the multitude of things and tasks and, people that are around us, our brain starts to sense this overwhelming feeling. And when we start to tip into that state of overwhelm, the brain's capacity for processing starts to decrease until you hit that point of exhaustion where it really starts to shut down. The key thing from here is to understand that when you're in a state of overwhelm, your brain does not function and process information the same way as it would if you were at a calm state. So when things are steady and flowing perfectly in your business, we're able to manage the day-to-day things and we're able to think logically and plan out systems and strategies. But when you hit those busy seasons of your business, your life, that capacity to process information is actually jeopardized. And so what you want to do is to be able to plan in advance for what you're going to be able to do to help minimize the stress, minimize that overwhelm, and to still continue to stay productive. Now, one of the things that I find most often with entrepreneurship is that when we do hit these states of busyness and overwhelm, our immediate instinct and reaction is to want to stop. And that is actually the worst thing that you can do for your business, which is why planning in advance and having systems and strategies in place is really going to help you to stay productive. So here's 3 things I want you to try that will help to manage the overwhelm, that will help to reduce the stress, and help you to still stay productive when you're dealing with life and business busyness. The first step is to delegate. Now, I know that this is easier said than done, right? We get into business because we want to have control over our business, but it is vitally important to your health, to your well-being, to the health of your business and the productivity of your business to be able to start delegating certain tasks to people. Now, what does this look like? First of all, let me just reframe that and say, when you're in a state of overwhelm and when you're already hitting those busy, points of your life or your business, it's really hard to think about who you can start delegating to. And this is why planning in advance is important. Now, I did say that in a future episode, I will be diving deep into what it looks like to do an alignment audit. An alignment audit is really what is that decision matrix that has to happen for you as a business owner to start scaling your business? What are the tasks that you should be keeping? What are the tasks that you should be automating? What are the tasks that you delegate? What are the things that you get rid of? There's a whole system and process for that. And so I really want you to stay tuned to this channel because I will be doing a deep dive into that in a future episode. But that delegation task is something that we need to get comfortable with every single day, especially in order for us to be able to manage those busy seasons. When I was away dealing with the move, dealing with all these unexpected things that were happening, I was very clear on the tasks that I should be delegating and who would be best served in order to take those responsibilities on. So as a business owner, that first step of delegating, it really is the first key into you being able to manage the overwhelm and the stress and to still keep you productive in your business. So start identifying what those tasks are that you can immediately delegate off to somebody and who might those people be. That's probably the hardest question for us as business owners to answer. So it's really important to start planning in advance for that. When it comes to social media, is there somebody that you can offload the planning and the scheduling to? When it comes to being responsive to certain challenges in your business or those common questions, do you have a colleague that you can call upon that will help to kick in when things start to get overwhelming or too busy for you to handle? The point here is this. Start planning in advance for what tasks you can delegate and to who you can delegate to. That's going to help to reduce the stress. The second key that I want to talk to you about is to automate. Now, when we talk about automate, I don't want you to start panicking and freaking out. You do not need a degree in computer science to start automating things in your business. Automation does not have to look so complicated. Something as simple as an auto response when you're away from your office or dealing with things on a busy level can make the world of difference. In fact, I have to say that was probably one of the biggest things that I did and have been able to do in my business in order for me to manage all the things that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. When I hit those busy seasons, like I just came off of, I set a auto response in place on my email. Now, every email platform has this. I use Gmail. So on Gmail, I go to that out of office response and I set already in place an automated message. Now, here's the key. I didn't just stick with the usual, I'm out of office until such and such a date, contact such and such person if you need assistance. I made it a little bit more personal. And here's what my auto response actually said. Hi, thanks for reaching out. I'm Michelle's autorespondent, and I'm going to be assisting her over the next week. Michelle's normally very responsive, so forgive her if you don't get an immediate response. She's going to be at a conference this week, but she'll be checking her emails periodically. Seeing as how I'm a robot, I won't be able to help you with any urgent requests, but rest assured that if she can't personally respond, she'll make sure someone does. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Now, sounds easy, right? Doesn't it sound a little bit more personal? Doesn't it help to manage the expectations without it sounding so boring and dreadful? Little things like that, those little automation features that you can build into your business really help to manage other people's expectations of you. They know exactly where I'm going to be. They know how long I'm going to be out of office. They also feel as though somebody is there monitoring, so that they're just not left out there in the clouds somewhere. So start looking at some of the ways that you can build in automations to save you time. And this doesn't have to be just when you hit those busy seasons. Little auto responses, using tools like Zapier to help manage responses that come in often, those things that you have to do often enough, are truly time savers. All right, the last key strategy I want to introduce you to is to pause tasks. And that's exactly what it means. As we go about our business, here's the one thing about entrepreneurs is that we want to do it all. And just because we can doesn't mean we should. So there's certain things that we have to get comfortable with letting go of, especially when we hit our busy seasons. Maybe you're used to, spending a few hours every week doing some video productions for your social media or for your YouTube channel. Maybe you're used to spending a certain amount of time on lead follow-up or other activities in your business. Now, here's the key, as I mentioned before. When things get busy, your automatic response is to just stop because we become overwhelmed. We don't know what to do next. It's really hard for us to think logically. So planning in advance for those things is going to help to alleviate that. And one of the things you want to plan for are what tasks you should pause. Notice I didn't say stop. Start looking at tasks that you do in your business that are the good to have things, but not necessarily the must do things, right? We all do things in our business that help to bring a little bit more enjoyment or to help to add a little bit more color and flavor to our role in our day-to-day activity. But those things aren't necessarily the things that you need to keep doing when life gets busy. So start making a list of what those tasks are that when things get too busy, you can just put a pause on. This way, you're not stopping fully, you're not just kind of erasing it from your to-do list. They're things that you will come back to when you start having a little bit more time or a little bit more freedom to start thinking about those tasks. So start thinking about how you can reduce the workload. If you're used to doing something 5 times a week or 3 times a day, can you reduce that? Is there tasks that you're doing that are, like I said, nice to have things, but not necessarily the things that are going to keep driving your business forward? Those are the things that we want to look at pausing. Pausing tasks not only helps you and your mindset and your mental state, it helps to reduce the stress and the overwhelm because we automatically know we can just put those things to the side for a little bit. And here's the key difference. We're not putting things to the side that are actually the drivers of our business. When you take this approach to really planning in advance, you're helping to really identify those important tasks that have to get done. Which are the things that have to get done by you? Which are the things that you can delegate? What tasks can you automate to help you buy back some time? If you start to use those 3 strategies, I can tell you right now that when you hit the busy seasons of your life or your business, you're going to be better prepared to manage them. So now that I've shared with you 3 key strategies, I'd love to hear from you. What things do you find that are helpful that you implement in your business or in your life to help you manage that overwhelm and stress during the busy seasons? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on that notification bell. I look forward to seeing you guys back here again, same time, same place next week.